Hello friends, in this video lecture we will discuss about digestion and absorption. This is chapter number 16 from Human Physiology of class 11th Biology Unit 5. Friends, this chapter is carrying very good informations related with our digestive systems, and also there is a very good weightage of this chapter regarding NEET exam. Every year minimum 1 or maximum 3 questions are given from this chapter. So this chapter is going to be very important. Here in this video lecture we will discuss about the very basic things related with digestion and absorption. So first chapter started with the terminology nutrition. So what is nutrition? Nutrition is very simply, this is a process in which organism take all the food substances which will meet their metabolic as well as energy requirement. Simply we can say the intaking of nutrients is known as nutrition. Now the next question is, what are nutrients? So as given here, these are the chemical substances which are present in food. There are so many categorization about nutrients, but here we will discuss only about the two aspects for categorization of nutrients. First, this is given here on the basis of their composition, how they are composed. So nutrients may be organic as well as inorganic in nature. Organic nutrients are carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, nucleic acid, while inorganic nutrients are water, mineral, etc. The second categorization is on the basis of requirement, or we can say this is about quantity. So on the basis of quantity, there are further two categories, macro as well as micro. Macronutrients are those which needed in a large quantity. These are carbohydrate, proteins and lipid, while micro, they are required in a small quantity. So these are like vitamins, minerals, water, etc. Next is about types of nutrition. So by which mode organism taking their food. On that basis we may categorize organism into three. The first one is about autotrophic, second is heterotrophic, while the third one is mixotrophic mode of nutrition. We have to discuss one by one about each. So first is here about autotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic, so as the word says, auto means its own self, and trophic is related with trophic level, that is a type of nutrition level. So autotrophs are those which are self capable to synthesize their food by a number of means. On that basis, autotrophs are further categorized into two: photoautotrophs as well as chemoautotrophs. Photoautotrophs are also known as photosynthetic organism, while the process of formation of food is known as photosynthesis. Same for chemosynthetic organism, the process is chemosynthesis. Now the first, that is photosynthetic organism. So there is a number of organisms which are capable to synthesize their food by using solar energy, or we can say radiant energy. So in this process actually there is conversion of light or radiant energy into chemical energy. This question given many times in exam, means during photosynthesis light energy is converted into which type of energy. So light energy or solar energy or radiant energy, this converted in form of chemical energy, that we can say simply glucose. So as given here, the chemical equation related with photosynthesis: 6CO2 plus 12H2O in presence of light and chlorophyll. So these four are raw materials that are needed for photosynthesis: carbon dioxide, water, light and chlorophyll. And now the products are C6H12O6, that is glucose, along with water plus oxygen that releases out in form of gases. Now what are the organisms that participates in photosynthesis? So these are all green plants, not all plants. There is a number of plants which are non-green, and that's why non-photosynthetic. So green color is because of pigment that is known as chlorophyll. Second is cyanobacteria, that is blue-green algae. So they are carrying some specialized structure. This is known as heterocyst, and by their heterocyst they are capable to synthesize their food. Next, there is a number of protistans like Euglena as well as Volvox, that is colonial, is also capable to synthesize their food. Next is chemosynthesis. During chemosynthesis, the organisms are not depending on light source. Here they are using chemical energy for synthesizing their food. So we can say chemical source of energy. Just for example, here 6CO2 plus 12H2S, and there is formation of glucose plus water. Here the source is hydrogen sulfide H2S, that's why the released substance is sulfur, 12 sulfur. So this is performed by sulfur bacteria. By same kind of reactions also performed by a number of bacteria which are like iron bacteria, hydrogen bacteria, methane bacteria, and so on. So all these type of bacteria are capable on synthesizing their food by using chemical source of energy. There is also a number of bacteria which follow another means of nutrition that is known as heterotrophic. So they may be parasites, they may be saprophytes. We will discuss later about this one. So next is heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So as the word means hetero, this is about different, and trophic we already discussed is related with trophic level. So here they have a different mode of nutrition with respect to autotrophs. Autotrophs we discussed, they are self-capable. By using light energy or by using chemical energy, they are capable to synthesize their food. But here heterotrophs are not capable anyhow, so they are depending directly or indirectly on plants for consuming their food material. They further can be divided into three: parasites, saprophytes, or holozoans. So their mode of nutrition is known as respectively parasitic mode of nutrition, saprotrophic mode of nutrition, as well as holozoic mode of nutrition. Now one by one. First is about parasitic mode of nutrition. So what are parasites? Parasites are those organisms which are usually small in size and they are depending on their host. This is always living organism, and parasites depend on the larger organism which one is considered as host. So here usually parasites, they are getting benefited by their host while they causes a number of disease or a number of another type of losses to their respective host. Examples are given here: bacteria, viruses, fungus, cuscuta, that also known as amarbale. So these are the examples of parasitic nutrition. We earlier discussed about bacteria that may also be autotrophic in nature. So we discussed about photosynthetic bacteria that are cyanobacteria. We also discussed about chemosynthetic bacteria that are like methane bacteria, hydrogen bacteria, sulfur bacteria, same like that. Here these are other bacteria which are categorized under heterotrophs, and under heterotrophs they are parasites. They are the bacteria which are causing a number of disease on human bodies as well as plants bodies. Now one thing that is very important given here is about viruses. So viruses are always obligate parasite. Obligate means total. They fully depend on their host, and without their host there is no existence. The parasites further may classified on the basis of their nature. Like they may be categorized here ecto and endoparasites. So ecto are those, or ectoparasites are those which are living on their respective host externally. For example, bed bug, head louses, these are living on human beings or rest of the animal's body outside the body. Same, there may be another examples like leeches, while the endoparasites are those which are living in their respective host inside the body. So these are examples like tapeworm, ascaris, etc. The second categorization of parasite is on the basis of their dependency, how much they are dependent on their respective host. So they may be categorized like total parasites or partial parasites. Total parasites are those which are fully dependent on their host, and here we can say they are obligate parasite, means without their host there is no survival of these kind of parasites. For example, here this is Cuscuta or Amarbeil. That is also an example of total stem parasite. This fully depend on the trunk or stem of another plants, and by their hostoria, that is a specific type of root, they are absorbing the ready-made food from their respective host phloem, because as we know phloem is for conduction of organic substances, that is food material. So by their hostoria, these kind of parasites absorbing ready-made food material. The next is partial parasites. So these are the parasites which are depending on their respective host, not fully but for their few needs, because they are green photosynthetic in nature. So like water, like mineral requirements are fulfilled by their respective host, as given here. For example, Santalum, Viscum, these are the examples. There is further categorization of parasites on the basis of where they are present on plant, like they may be total root parasite, for example Orobanche, Balanophora, Rafflesia. Rafflesia is a very important example of total root parasite. This also known as queen of parasites. Rafflesia is known for their largest flower, that is carrying 1 meter periphery, and its weight is nearly 15 kilogram. So this is the largest flower in the world. The next one we can say total stem parasite. As we discuss here about Cuscuta or Amarbeil, this fully depend on their host plant, and if there is death of host plant, then there is also death of this total stem as well as root parasite. Same like here, as we discuss partial parasites, maybe categorization like partial root parasite, partial stem parasite. So if we discuss partial root parasite, this is Striga, while partial stem parasite, this is about Viscum. Now the second of heterotrophic mode of nutrition is saprotrophs. The mode of nutrition is saprotrophic, while the organism known as saprotrophs. So here the word sapro is derived from the word sapron. Sapron means dead or decaying substances. So saprotrophs, they are very unique in nature. They first releases their digestive juices, or we can say digestive enzyme, over their dead or decaying food material, and when the substance is getting digested, then by the process of diffusion, that digested food material is taken in, or we can say is absorbed in, by these organisms. So here mode of digestion is outside the body, so we can say extracellular digestion, means digestion occurs outside the cell, outside the body. So this is extracellular. If this is a single cell, then we can say extracellular, and if organism is multicellular, then we can say outside the body, that is also extracellular. So examples are here like yeast, that is unicellular fungus, mushroom, this is multicellular fungus, and bacteria. So bacteria we already discussed here in parasitic mode of nutrition as well as autotrophic mode of nutrition, and this again present here like a saprotrophs. The third one under heterotrophic mode of nutrition is holozoic nutrition. So holo, as we can say, this is about the source of food, which type of food is intaken and by which means the food is intaken by organism. On that basis, this is holozoic mode of nutrition, and the organism they considered as holozoans. So holozoans feeds on solid organic food material that may be whole plant or the flesh or meat of animal body. Examples, this is almost for every and each animals that may be unicellular as well as multicellular. Unicellular as in case of amoeba, and multicellular there are so many phylums from phylum Porifera to Chordata. So there is further a number of categories for holozoans as given here. So first is herbivores. Herbivores are those which are feeding on herbs or grasses or greenery, for example rabbit, cow, goat, etc. Next, carnivores. So corny is about flesh or meat, so they are meat or flesh eaters, example lion, tiger, etc. The third one is omnivores. Omni is about all the things, so they are feeding on both herbs as well as meat, so they are herb as well as meat eater. We can say they have dual mode of nutrition. Examples are like human, cockroach, birds. They are like feeding on insects as well as grains. The fourth is detritivores. So detri is about dead organic substances. So these animals feeded on dead organic substances like earthworm as well as molluscans. Detritivores as well as decomposers, or we can say saprotrophs. Decomposers are saprotrophs. So there is a difference. Detritivores or saprotrophs, that is decomposers, they both are feeding on dead substances, but the difference is detritivores they have intracellular digestion. Here digestion occurs inside the cell or inside the particular organ, while in case of saprotrophs or decomposers we discuss, their digestion occurs outside the body or outside the cell. So this is the major difference. Decomposers are the basic organisms which are involved in cycling of nutrients. If decomposers are not there, so there will be storage of flesh or huge number of dead bodies will be there related with plants as well as animals. The next one is predators. So we can say predators are also like same carnivores. They are feeding on small animals that is known as prey. So examples are like eagle, tiger, or we can say lion, etc. All these. Insectivorous. So these are feeding on insects like birds, anteaters. The next one is scavengers. So they are also feeding on dead organism. But here again the difference in between detritivores and scavengers. Detritivores feeded on dead or decaying substance and they are very small in size. They are living inside the soil, while scavengers they are not directly living inside the soil. They are above the ground. So examples are like vulture, hyena, etc. The next one is cannibals. Cannibals is a specific type of organism which are feeding on their own species, or we can say which are feeding on their own young ones. This is like a snake as well as cockroach. In some specific conditions, if there is no availability of food material after childbirth, then they also can consume their young ones that produces very quickly after birth. The next one is coprophagus. So coprophagy, this is about feeding on feces or excreta. For example, pigs, dung beetles, and rabbit. Rabbit is a very unique example. Rabbit feeds on its own feces rather than others' excreta or feces. Here, pigs and dung beetles, they are feeding on others' animals' dung. But rabbit feeds on its own feces because the feces which eliminated out by their body is not fully digested. That's why they take it again back inside the body. The last one is about mixotrophic mode of nutrition, that also known as dual mode of nutrition. As here we also discuss about dual mode of nutrition for omnivores, but here we discuss on the basis of their nature, means they feeds on both herbs as well as meat. But here when we are saying mixotrophic as a dual mode of nutrition, this is on the basis like autotrophs as well as heterotrophs. So they feeds like autotrophs, means they are self capable, or they feeds like heterotrophs, like they are not self capable. So example is given here, Euglena. So Euglena is carrying chlorophyll, and like plants, this is capable to synthesize their food if there is availability of sunlight. But this also carrying holozoic mode of nutrition like animals if there is no light or dark in the surrounding.